Hi BookTube. Today I'm going to talk about 5, well technically 6, books that I really enjoyed when I was reading them, but I had some kind of issue with them. And the first one I will mention is this one, Steampunk Soldiers, Uniforms and Weapons from the Age of Steam by Philip Smith and Joseph A. McCullough. McCullough? Yeah. This one is portrayed as the drawings and information written by a artist named Miles Wandercraft. And his great nephew or something are giving this work to the scientific world about these ages and stuff. Because when he was younger, Miles traveled all over the world and he collected and drew these generals and soldiers and things like that. And you also get some pieces like, oh, this person wanted me to draw him in this pose, and he allowed me to do this and this, and I learned that this woman had died, and things like that. And basically, even before I finished it, I looked up to see if there were a story about Miles, like if there were some fiction about him. And the answer is no. This is the book and this is fiction. But I just felt like this would have been a great companion book, because all these small snips about these characters that you are seeing portrayed, you basically go, well, where's the rest of it? Because if you have read the story and then found this, oh, this is about all these persons that he met, and you'll be like, oh, that's him, that's him. Oh, right, he died, and things like that. I wanted it, but this is it, and it felt like a missed opportunity. I don't know if it's something that these authors are considering, but yeah, I really felt like, where is this information? I want it. Um, so yeah, there is another book called American. It's focused more on American soldiers, but these artworks are beautiful and I did enjoy it, as I said. It's just, where's the rest of the story? Where's the rest? Next one I'm going to mention is Yxmannen, or in English, The Axeman's Jazz by Ray Felston. And this one is a mystery that takes place in between 1990, 1919, there we go. And you're following loads of characters. Now, I read a lot of fantasy, adult fantasy, at least I used to. Right now it seems to be more sci-fi. But so that part in itself didn't bug me, but usually when you follow multiple characters, you're getting introduced by them, and then as the story goes on, their perspectives are added in. This one were like chapter 1, person 1, chapter 2, person 2, etc. So when I met person 1 again, I was like, who are you? I have no idea who you are. And also the chapters were really short. They are really short in this. And we are talking like 3 pages is a very good estimate. 5 pages every single chapter. And for me, that broke the story up a lot, especially since we're following so many characters, and to be like the first book. And another thing that actually bugged me was, you get these beautiful descriptions of all these places. You really feel like you're there. The author did a beautiful job with that. But then you leave. And there were pages where I was like, oh, this sounds beautiful, it sounds amazing. And then the conversation that the main character were having took 2 sentences. And you're like, okay, they never return to that location. You never meet that person again. And it's like, what was the point? There was so much of this that could have been shortened to like a paragraph. Instead, it's like multiple pages. I just looked before I filmed this, and this is under 500 pages. I did not think that this was under 500 pages. It's not, as I said, it's not bad. But another thing that gripes me is that we get this beautiful description of New Orleans in the 1919, and the next book takes place a couple of years after that, but in San Francisco. So I'm really hoping that we will get a beautiful depiction of San Francisco in the 20s, but I'm also like crossing my fingers that some of the shortened issues that I had with this, it would probably be easier because we are following two characters from this book in that one as well. So yeah. Next one is two books. These are the Ruby Celeste and the Ghost of Marda, and Ruby Celeste and the Dire Kraken. These books are written by Nicholas J. Ambrose, and the main problem with these, and if you read the reviews, especially on this first one, the issues are true for the second one as well, where's Ruby Celeste? This is just over 200 pages, so it's a short book, but basically, for being the titled name, you basically have 20 to 30 pages from Ruby Celeste's point of view. The rest of it is told mostly from France's point of view. And again, just like with the steampunk soldier one, I did look up to see, is this like some kind of prequel, like how Francis got on the same crew? No, this is the first book. So it really felt odd, and yeah, you get used to it, but it feels weird that Ruby Celeste is the main title on the book. If Ruby Celeste had been the ship, it would have been a completely different thing because it would have made sense. It's the ship, and if the author then said, "Oh, I'm going to write this mostly from France's point of view, not the captain, Ruby Celeste, the captain," it would have made more sense. But this, for being the title, or like kind of like Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Imagine Harry Potter being told from not even Hermione's point of view, but like Minerva, Professor McGonagall's point of view, and then like just getting two chapters from Harry Potter's view. It probably would be fun, and there probably is some kind of fan fiction about that. But that was basically how these books are built up. And I do want to continue with book 3 because I do like them. They are short, concise, and they work. But you do wonder, where's Ruby Celeste? There's 2 books in. I still don't really feel like I know who Ruby is. I know who Francis is. I know what he dreams of, what he wants to, what he misses and stuff like that. I know nothing about Ruby Celeste, except that she, as most do, have had a pretty tough life. Yeah. Next one can be slightly controversial, and that's Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. I have 2 main issues with this. First off, this C.B. Lee is openly bisexual, and as such, she made sure to create this world in which your sexuality is no problem, pronouns are like you use your pronouns that you want, and like it's a beautiful like envisioned world where, as I said, those things don't matter. My issue is that there were so many instances where it felt so shooed in, like it felt forced, it felt cringy, and it just, yeah, it felt forced in. Like some things were basically explained in a very convoluted way. Certain things was as questions where it was like, that wasn't a question, that's just you saying your opinion of what you believed. Why do you make it a question? So those things, as someone who has a mother that's a grammar police, it bugged me. But I mean, it's a pet peeve of mine. I didn't really mind that too much, except for me being like, oh no, I need to read through another section that just feels chewed in. And then, as I do a stabbing motion that you can't see, and another thing that really bugged me was the ending. You, oh, I wonder if you can hear the rain. One thing is that very close to the end, like barely like this far from the end, you get this, for the main character, a huge revelation, like, excuse me? And then it's dropped, completely dropped. It, like, like it doesn't matter. It probably will matter in the sequel, but it was just dropped. Like, boop. It wouldn't surprise me if there were some kind of, oh, you're only allowed this many words or this many pages or whatever, because that definitely the ending felt like that. The world still intrigues me, and we did get some things opened up for us that hopefully will be explained in the next book, but the way this was written and felt slightly forced in places, and the way it ended doesn't really make me want to read a sequel anytime soon. And I read this 1.5 years ago, something like that. Yeah. The next one, this was me expecting something that I did not get, and I'm still salty about it. This is Kill the Phone Boy by Delilah S. Dawson and Kevin Hearn. This cover is beautiful, and the title, definitely the main reason why I wanted it, and you can see that I'm still smiling. This series basically puts fun on like all the tropes. For instance, the main warrior is a woman who's wearing a chainmail bikini. Yeah, she doesn't really want to kill anyone though. Things like that. And I wanted one specific thing from this book. And very early on, and I'm talking like chapter 2 or 3, it kind of like, oh, it won't happen. And I just felt so disappointed for the rest of this book. So like I was like, right here we're like, oh, that won't happen. And for the rest of the book I was extremely disappointed because I wanted one specific thing. It did not happen at all. Like it was shot down pretty early. And I then kind of like, for the entire rest of this book. Yeah. And I can't really say what it is because to me that would be a spoiler. But yeah, Kill the Phone Boy. Wonderful title. Love the cover. And I especially love the tagline, Once Upon a Time. I really like everything about this technically, but due to the fact that the one thing I really wanted from it did not happen, yeah, such is life. So those were 5 or 6 books that I actually did like. I just had some issues with them. So do you have any? You probably do. Things that you liked, but that but is very important. Please share with them down below. And if you did find a book that you were like, did not really like it, and then you still read another book by the same author, or you maybe read the sequel and you thought everything was fine. It's just the first book was not that brilliant as you wanted to. But that was everything for today. Bye.